What's up, everybody? We're back to the second episode of Study Hall here on UFS University. I forgot to go through the regular rigmarole at the very beginning. You can find us on patreon.com/TCG University if you want to support the show.
Go do it
at the $3 level
right now.
At the $3 level and get the podcast like 2 weeks early on Fridays. So topic 2 of this week is going to be one-ofs. I think that's what I'm going to do. One-ofs.
We get to talk about mises?
I don't know.
Yes.
Like heat miser and cold miser?
No. See, so...
What's it? Tim, whose side you on? Heat miser or cold miser?
Well, they're both too much. I think I'm going to have to go cold miser.
Man, I wanted us to be on opposite sides of this, but we're not.
Yeah, of course we're not.
Cold miser for life, dude.
I'm not positive I'm not into the camp of cold miser, but what were you talking about? What's misers?
So, in Magic, when you play a one-of, they're called mises.
Why?
Because it's short for might as well.
Oh, I love it. It's really, really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I am talking about is the perception of one-ofs. So I was playing against Tyler. I was playing my Fey deck where I do, in fact, run a 4X Skull Barrier. I do run a 4X Spregio. And I checked one on my turn 1, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, I forgot you had that card." And then for the rest of the game, he was playing around it. Is there any validity of running a singular copy of a Skull Barrier or this power play card to make your opponent go, "Oh, shit, I forgot you had that"? And then you just get to play the bluff game of, "Fuck yeah, I've got 3 more Skull Barriers that aren't written on my deck list." Is there any validity in that kind of a mind game?
No, I don't think it's worth it. Just straight up, I don't think that's worth it. The mind game doesn't do enough for you to justify running a card that makes your deck inconsistent because you won't ever see it most of the time.
Well, so the thing is like, we not only get to play that card, but we also get to check that card. So the likelihood of my opponent seeing it and taking note of this power card, like me running the singular bang. Like, I can't go in this turn because if my character gets sealed, I don't kill you. So I guess I'll just build 2 and pass. Oh, I died on the backswing. Or, oh, I had to block with these attacks. I checked my 1 bang.
I don't know.
James.
So, if it wasn't for the fact
I need you to talk
I'm
to
right
me.
here. I'm right here.
All right.
So, if it wasn't for the fact that Connor currently is borrowing our Fusion Soul Fist,
Yeah.
I was going to make an EVA deck that played 3 of that, 4 Tech Sphere, 4 of Negative Soul, and 2 Hand Cannon, and then just a bunch of one-ups.
Okay.
Specifically just because they're all individually very good,
Yes.
and Tech Sphere can copy all of them, obviously.
Yes.
But it gives you a lot of options.
I love
different options in different places.
That's not what we're talking about at all.
It is. You said one-ofs to distract people. The fact that all of those were different one-ofs that could do multiple different things creates a lot of different options and deck numbers.
So I don't actually think that it's possible, this could be possible for an attack. If I played if I owned the 1X of missile launcher and I play the 1-of, and my opponent's like, I can't build into deadlock because I'm gonna get missile launcher.
Like you're playing Goro. Like if you were playing Goro and you checked the 1-of.
Yeah.
Goro's a very good deck to have 1-ofs in my opinion.
Well, maybe not missile launcher. I think you should play 4 of that card. Just
I'm saying
pick
if
up
you
4 missile
wanted
launchers
to,
and
you
they're dead.
could.
Yeah. Cody.
Mises are fun, I guess is the best way to put them. I don't like putting them in the main board, but it is really funny when you hit them. Sideboard is normally like where a lot of one-ofs I think should exist, especially in a game like this. Just giving yourself as many options as possible.
Even though checking them is atrocious?
Sometimes, yeah. But I mean, like, when they're situational, the one-of situationals are normally always like really good.
Okay.
That's normally kind of like those misers, just get people. Showing them on accident in a way, we're just like, oh, now you might play around them. If somebody plays around a certain card and know that they're going to die on the crackback, they're just playing the game wrong at that rate.
Okay.
That's like one thing with card games. You just got to know when to go for it. And this is one of those games where it's just like, well, gotta go for
What's
it.
the odds?
Yep. Yeah. That's a fair point of if you have game, you should go for game. But like, I don't know. I would definitely
It's no more problem.
I would definitely attempt to play around. Like, if they have a Skull Barrier, I'm gonna very much get punished. So I will change my play. Like,
Set up baits.
Yeah. I'll dip my toe into the pool as opposed to, hey, let me lead with this. From Hell's going to be second because, you know, there might not be a skull barrier, but like I've seen it. So like, why would I not just lead with the From Hell and make you expend the resources there? The second attack doesn't. The From Hell as a poke when I'm fighting against skull barrier is super important. If I only have 2 attacks, like there's mind games like that I think could be valid if your opponent is trying to galaxy brain you.
I think when it comes to like the spread game and the skull barriers, it's always the second one that everybody catches off guard. The first one is normally expected. The second one is just like shit.
Oh, you mean like in my hand?
Yeah, just like in general. Like I think like those kind of cards, it's like most of the time I can play around like one of those really easily. But it's just like the second one's always the one where I'm just like, well,
oops. It's more like. So I'm sitting across from a table, and I see the first 2 cards that they mill, and obviously my symbols are off. You ready? So I see them mill a skull barrier, I see them mill a coffee samba, I see them mill a missile launcher. Like symbols don't match. I get it, but now I go, well, fuck. I can't hold a bunch of cards in my hand because if he rips a coffee samba, he's gonna stun on my whole board. Well, they actually only had 1 coffee samba. It was the spiciest of one ofs. Or you ready? I see them mill a Princess Perry, and I go. If I don't have 6 attacks, I'm not gonna kill them ever, like ever. Nah, it was actually just a one of, because I didn't have room. It was a might as well card. Like I think there's some validity in those powerhouse cards if you're just willing to take that risk. Just the spiciest
like
one of
knowledge.
the spiciest one of Princess Perry, just to be like, or just fan out your deck and be like, just point at it. Hey. How's it going? What
This
up?
exists.
And then
Better watch out.
just show that discard back. I don't know. Like,
I mean, yeah, those things could work, but I think you'd be getting overthinkers at that rate. Like if they would go through a whole entire game, and they go through about 30 or 40 cards in their deck, and they've noticed that you've gotten like to like your 1 hand size at one point, like first build or something along those lines, and they only see 1 Princess Perry, like 30 cards in a discard pile. They can probably make the assumption, just be like, he might have it, but at the same time,
or
it's like,
he's got all of them.
yeah, it's like,
This asshole's playing Melina and he just held them all. My explosions are gonna do nothing.
yeah, that's the Jake method.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how you lose. That's how you lose.
And then
in
you lose in
Swiss.
top 8.
You were outplayed by an N9 player. Shout outs to Chris Ryan as the legendary wolf player.
You were
outplayed.
You were outplayed by the Scorpion player.
Any last minute thoughts? Is there any way that you could like make one ofs matter on not like a game mechanical level, but like a psychological level? That's really what I'm talking about here.
I think the one-ofs already do that on their own. Like certain one-ofs, like one of Coffee Samba, like one of Revoke, Bangs, stuff like that. They're already power card in their own like worth in the game itself. So having the one-ofs already do that. What you need is something like the one-ofs that matter in like the situation we're talking about, like giving them more worth would be like cards you didn't think were possible to put together. Cards you were like, I didn't think that this card would work with this card so well. And you see them check at the moment and you go, oh. And it's just like, that's what's going to happen if I'm not ready. And it's just a one-of.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think what I was gonna say exactly.
I love it. So
I definitely had something prepped. God, what was I gonna say?
I'll cover. So I guess.
I remember what I was gonna say.
By all means.
Remember. Okay.
Everyone.
Remember.
Cody's got something to say.
So one-ofs, I feel, don't work as well, especially in a game like this, because when you have a certain symbol, you already know it's like worst case scenario for you at all times.
I love it.
So if you always play around worst case scenario, and they're only just playing one-ofs, like normally that should be like in your average player's thought processes. Or I guess not your average player, but if you want to get better, your thought processes of always playing around like worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So if like you're just sitting there and just like, yeah, I'm super dead to a coffee samba, he's probably playing it because he's playing Scorpion, something along those lines.
Yeah.
This is a decaf household. We don't play Coffee Samba in our Scorpion decks.
Okay, in our Scorpion decks, yes.
Yeah.
Like when I sit down across from
In
an
our
evil
Vega
deck,
deck.
I immediately think this person's
I mean,
probably running Revoke.
Yeah.
So I should play around Revoke.
I mean, I'm playing in my Evo deck, so.
Revoke was voted the best number one card in this format by your reigning world champion Tim Keefe, as well as the rest of the Guile treatment. Shout outs.
People gotta say no.
Go to Rockford.
Fuck you, Tim Keefe.
Or not. Thank you for being a supporter of the podcast.
I love Tim Keith.
What?
I love Tim Keith.
Yeah.
I watched that entire video only because I saw my name on the
Yeah.
picture you sent me.
Any last minute
And I had
thoughts
nothing.
on one ofs for the mind games? I would love your guys' opinions.
cool.
If we missed anything down in the comments below.
For the mind games, no. For deck building, one of counterspell is always great.
One of counterspell. I dig it.
I love it. Classic.
Yeah, but in this game you play 4 Revoke.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
I only played 2 of Revoke.
Well,
I played 3.
You were
you were off symboling it.
Our
It's-
director
it
is
was
typing.
so
Off-symboling
it was so good that you were off symboling it. I'm gonna wait for Jake for 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Our
to-
director is typing.
Is this
everyone.
for us? Okay. So
okay.
with
producer.
so with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to topic 3 of the night.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Study Hall. If you like this video a lot, go ahead and you can click on this one over here to see last week's video of Study Hall. This one over here is going to be a playlist of our past study halls that we've been doing, or any of our other past content. We're going to have another square, I think right over here. Tam's going to put it right there for me. If you're new to UFS and you don't know what we talked about this week, feel free to check that out if you're new and you want to get to know the game a little bit better. And if you want to support us, we brought it up before, go ahead and click on our Patreon. That link's going to be right over here next to me. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll hopefully see you next week.